What you are now seeing is early gameplay of our Untitled FPS project after 5 days of development. It's the first project made by our newly formed Low Caliber Studios. Hi, I'm Jackson, and right now I'm going to take you through how this project began and what its future holds. And it all started with some sick ass trick shots.
Okay.
Fuck it, I'm jumping. 3. This is Polywars. It was a project worked on by our programmer and friend, Fernando. Jack, one of the people working on our current project, sent Polywars to us as a joke because he'd already given up on the project, but hope was not lost for this kind of game. Even though we couldn't explain it, the game had something. The combination of fluid movement, skill-based gunplay, and fast-paced, high-flying action was a perfect storm of fun, and we played that game for hours that night. It was then that ideas to revamp the project started brewing. Day 1 was mostly laying out ideas for how the project would play. We wanted fast movement, no crosshairs so you'd have to rely purely on muscle memory, good gunplay, and most importantly, it had to be fun to play. I created the first version of our map, Silo, inspired by the silo we were trick-shotting off of in Polywars. Jack made some concept art for maps we could make. We had one gun, the AK, and the basic movement system made by Fernando. It wasn't much, but we knew we had something going. Day 2 was the day of progress. I got to quick work on version 2 of Silo, taking improvements that were suggested by the previous day's playtesting. It had textures, models, boundaries, and a way better flow of gameplay. And not to pat myself on the back or anything, but it has been seen as our best map. We only have 3 so far, but that's still an achievement. We added 2 new weapons, the sniper and the shotgun. Until we created a loadout system, you could just carry all your guns at once. We were at a good pace, but something had to be done about our biggest problem. We only had one person that knew how to code, Fernando. He was doing most of the legwork for the game. We also only had one person that had access to the project file on Unity, Fernando. And if we wanted to have more than 2 people working on the same project with Unity's Collaborate system, we would need a pro license, which is expensive as balls. That's when our saving grace arrived in the form of Unity's student license. We're still in high school, so if we get approved for this license, we could have up to 5 people working on the project at the same time. So we submitted our request for the license on day 2, and by day 3, we were working on the project together. Day 3 was a day of great progress. We could work on the game way faster with Collaborate, and we could publish our changes. We set up a Trello board so we could see what we needed to work on. We set up a menu, networking. We got a character model, which was actually just a capsule with the word penis written on it. We got some new people involved on the project. Jack, who was involved from day 1, started working on the castle map called Siege. Owen, who's our second programmer, downloaded Unity for the very first time. He knew how to code, but he had never worked on a game before, so he started to learn quick. And late that night on December 12th, which was technically still day 2, but we actually only tested the game after 12 a.m. on the 13th, so, But to our surprise, the game was great. It was everything we wanted and more. It was so fun. We played for 4 hours once we started working again in the morning. It was actually hindering our progress as we wanted to play the game more than we actually were working on it. And that day, I became the first person to get 369 kills in the game. But we had so much more work to do. On day 4, I started working on my second map, called Alley. We wanted this to be a way bigger map, more open space, buildings. The file size got pumped up to 0.5 GB per build because of more assets and textures. Owen made some good progress learning how to use Unity. He fixed some major bugs. I also redid some animations such as the sniper bolt rack, sniper reload, shotgun reloads, shotgun pullout. Fernando was hard at work fixing some serious bugs, working on new features such as map selection and game endings. I also animated and made the newest weapon in the game, the Deagle. With high recoil, 2 shots to kill, but insane accuracy, it's a very well-balanced weapon. Day 5 was the last day we had before we wanted to release a new build. We wanted to finish the map, add the map selector, implement the Deagle, and release it to test. Ali got finished quick, Fernando implemented the Deagle, Jack sent in his map, Owen fixed more glitches, and that afternoon, the 3rd build of the game was released. And it kicked ass. We had made a basic multiplayer FPS and in a record time. 5 days to make this amazing work of art. and it still doesn't have a name. Whatever, we'll come up with that later. That day, we officially dubbed ourselves Low Caliber Studios because we wanted our name to be like our games, Low Caliber. And we are nowhere near done. We're adding loadouts, many more weapons, maps, an actual character model, more options, more game modes, more methods of movement, more everything. And if you want to follow us on our journey to our game's release and completion, please consider subscribing. And hey, if you have any suggestions for things to add in the game, leave it in the comments. We would love to hear your ideas. We will eventually release some early builds that you can try out, so thank you very much for watching.